What is good, everybody? It is Spill here, and welcome back to the NBA 2K Lab channel. In this quick video, we're going to go over the supposed shooting update and see if there was any changes from the last patch. Less than 2 weeks ago, shooting got a nice little buff when Mike Wang said in Coldman's chat that he removed the speed-ups from defensive pressures, which was a very welcomed update by the community. This was only after backlash from the first shooting update about 3 weeks ago, where shooting was supposed to get a sizable buff, where it actually did show in our test, but it didn't quite hit the mark in terms of gameplay, because while it did get buffed, a number of different timings were introduced, making many players, even at the highest level, far less consistent than they were originally. Let's quickly take a look at the first shooting update to show you guys they really did buff the shooting initially. This was all in our video from a few weeks ago. This chart shows data after the first shooting patch, and if you take a look at the blue line, which represents post-patch, you can see that the effective green window was expanded by roughly 20 milliseconds, which is a very significant buff. Looking at the red line for pre-patch, you can see just how tight these windows were when the game was released. But like I mentioned before, even with this patch, players weren't seeing an increase in shooting percentages, and as a matter of fact, many players' shooting percentages dropped, which led people to believe there was no actual buff. But this was only because of the new timings that were introduced, and that's on top of the latency fixes as well. Now to the point of the actual video, after the next update where defensive speedups were taken out of the game, many people again speculated that shooting was back to day one. Iggymo here says 2K 100% reverted shooting sliders to day one. Guards are back fading from 33 feet with no takeover, every smothered is going in, and you can shoot from anywhere with badge. And then there's Power asking the community if shooting is different or are people just talking. But now we have the answer. So here's the chart from our test a couple weeks ago compared to the latest update. Now all the shots taken in this test were all wide open shots, so this tells us that raw shooting numbers have not been touched in this case. When comparing these numbers to our last test, every number came back within 2% of each other, showing that there was no change in shooting wide open shots. Some players experienced slowdowns from crabs, but that may be another story for another day. Now that is all we have for this shooting update video. If this video helped you or you found it informative, be sure to leave a like. It's been Spill, and I'm out. Later.